This week I was pretty determined to do something simple, so I wanted to do a time lapse. This is because one thing, work has been pretty intense with being creative and just getting stuff made and pushed out in time. And last video with the scroller box took a bit longer than I anticipated, so I wanted a break from making videos, but in a still making videos kind of way. And this was also the first video where I felt like I had the opportunity to create something original and with my own usual mediums at hand and without a prompt, really. But this led to two things. The first is that I had no idea what to do, and I used the entire Monday to just put it away from my mind, and the entire Tuesday to sketching in my sketchbook, coming up with ideas that I thought I wanted to do but really didn't want to make a big thing of. I actually started another painting, watercolor painting, that I kind of liked the idea of, but it just felt wrong, you know. So this has actually ended up taking the entire week anyway. But during Wednesday, I think I just sat down with a white piece of paper and the recording button on and just went for it. I started with an eye and it became a snail, and the entire way of stippling and scratching and making patterns in the shell just gave me a bunch of time to relax, but also to move myself into gear and where I'm going next with this. Not a lot of conscious thought, but a lot of unconscious thought. And when you do these kinds of starting one place and working your way somewhere, you don't know where to, but you're gonna find out at some point, it leads to making a lot of mistakes, but it also leads to you figuring out ways to conquer those mistakes. I don't know what else to call it. To just figure out ways to make it work anyway, or work with the mistakes and make them into something that works better for the piece. Stuff like I made the shell, well, let's just start with it's the wrong way around. I understand that, but it just made the piece more weird and bendy. So that worked out for my favor. The lines in the shell made me go really thick in with the thick end of the pen for these huge chunky outlines, and I think it worked in my favor. What is coming up, the B though, was just to fill out the big white gap up on top, this B right here, and I went into it without really knowing why, and it felt wrong being there. But again, this is the thing that happens when you just jump right into stuff. This wing is like me just going, whatever, I can do whatever I want with this, and just not feeling it. So I just simply cut it out, found a black piece of paper and just took whatever mediums I have that works on black paper and did something. Played around with there's a graphic pens again, and just in general played around again, following this whole whatever, I'm just gonna push stuff all over it. Glued the original piece on and went in with coloring. This problem solving, if we can call it that, with going right in without a plan, just takes you on kind of a journey, and the more you do it, the more practice you get in winning over the mistakes you will happen to make, even if it's in a piece that you've been fleshing out over the last half a year, or if it's just something that you just sat down to make. I understand it's a lot harder to accept the mistakes in the half a year pre-work picture, but making the mistakes on just figured out what to do kind of painting helps you jump quicker into the whole, oh my god, I've been thinking about this piece for the entire last year, what am I gonna do, and almost straight into, okay, how do I make this work anyway, thought, without scrapping the entire thing, because now you've used half a year. Sometimes you just need to scrap a whole thing, but other times you really want to go on with it. And doing these kind of spaced out drawing, I'm gonna call them now just because it's spaced out snail, it really helps you further down the line. I also think that these are some of my most creative pieces, some of those where you don't really think about where you're going, it just kind of happens. Maybe that's just me experiencing weird out, but I appreciate where these things goes. Another point about the whole I wanted to do something original this week thing is that I've also been in the rut about what should I put out as an example of what I draw, because I want to show an example of my personal work. I want to show what I do for me and for myself. And to be honest, every single thing I came up with was like, yeah, I do these kinds of things, but is it really me and what I do and what I want to do with my personal brand, this channel, these couple of drawings, my entire journey into this whole art world thing. But to be honest, this kind of jump straight into it and experiment and find out what works for you is kind of my thing, I guess. And that's one of the things I appreciate about making these videos, because it's supposed to be my journey. It's supposed to be me growing, and hopefully it's exactly what's happening. So I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you have any tips and tricks or something you want to add to the discussion, please tell me down in the comments. Take care. Bye.